I was an outsider to evangelical culture, and when I left my family's like I went to a small, it's called Plymouth Brethren. So when my grandfather got too old to preach, we started going
Is
to
it
other.
actually like a brethren denomination, right?
It's a non-denominational Christian movement, which we can, Christians cannot get on people's case about pronouns. When I have to describe, because if I say it's a denomination,
Yeah.
somebody's gonna lose a pop a gasket. It's
Yep.
not a move like because there's no formal structure
Hmm.
and that's why it sucks, kind of. That's why you suck at it. There's no formal structure. There's no
Right.
guy in charge. So that's how I grew up. And I went to those churches, and man, those people are lovely people, but also so incredibly weird. Um, so I go from there and I go, you know what? I want to go somewhere where they got chicks.
That's
So
the number one determining factor of where you go to church. Of course,
always, I
always
mean,
should be as a young man.
I mean, I'm going to say this without any irony or humor at all. If you're a young man, go where the booty is.
Yeah.
I'm just, I like, anyways. So I started going to these big, large mega churches where they had a lot of young people. There was one in Minnesota. It's gone now. I mean, it's there, but not worth attending. Called the Upper Room. Let
I
me tell you
remember.
something,
Yeah.
dude. I
Yeah.
remember telling somebody this place is like a nightclub, and they're like, "Yeah, okay." And then they came with me to church one time, and a girl walked past us in pumps wearing a glitter
Yeah.
dress, like a small dress, a mini dress.
Yeah.
It was all
A
glittery.
cocktail dress. Yeah.
There you go. And my buddy goes, "Holy crap! It is like a nightclub."
Yeah.
But I hated this.
What was going on in the upper room there, huh? That's what I want to
Oh,
know.
all of the sermons were like this guy was just unlistenable kind of guy.
Yeah.
Nice guy, I'm sure. And the worship was off the chain. Like they had, like I think at one point Carrie Job was doing worship there. I don't remember if that's true. I just
Carrie
know
Job
that.
came to my university once as well. Yeah.
Okay, so here's all I know. There is a multi-platinum recording artist that was doing worship there for a while,
Yeah.
and they would bring in all these kind of left of center speakers to appeal to the audience, and they're Presbyterians. Like they would rent this Presbyterian church out.
Yeah.
It was wild, and so I started going from there, and I started hopping around throughout my 20s and going to big mega churches, all in search of tail. Not going to pretend like that wasn't the case.
At least you're honest.
Yeah, and I think that's if we can all just be that honest and be like, yeah, it's just like, that's the point of this podcast is,
Let's be honest. Yeah. That's the
just tell
point.
the truth because we can't actually spread the gospel until we're talking about the facts. So, anyways, that's me, man. And then
Yeah.
I ended up being such an outsider because of it's really weird. We were raised in Minnesota. I wasn't Lutheran, which is number
Yeah.
one, and then
Yep.
Catholicism, and then probably number three is Assemblies of God, right? And that's
Sure.
Assemblies of God kind of grew where people ended up in terms of church while we were growing up, right?
Yeah.
So that church that you and I met at actually used to be a school, like a private school that my uncle went to. So like but nonetheless, what I'm driving at here is I ended up being an outsider in my own faith, right? In
Hmm.
my own faith community, I was an outsider because culturally I was an outsider. And it wasn't because
Right.
I was a brown person. It wasn't because I was the child of immigrants. That just made me a different kind of outsider. Like I still don't know about sports and I don't care. But that made me an outsider in the faith because I didn't grow up going to any of the mainstream churches, and so
Right.
I never understood. So some of these cultural quirks and features, if you want to,
Yeah.
refer to it, uh, there I was an outsider to them, and so I have the perspective to say this is weird,
Yeah.
right?
So you didn't grow up with the rock concerts and the fog machines
No,
and anything like that. Yeah, neither did I.
and
I was raised mostly Lutheran
yeah,
and found Assemblies of God late in high school, had a near-death experience, drinking a lot and smoking synthetic marijuana. I believe they call it K2 now. There's
Neat.
been a lot of K2 overdoses in Austin, Texas, when we lived there. So I drank a bunch, smoked some K2, had an experience where I believed I met God, and
Yeah.
promised God that if I survived through the night, that I would live my life for Him. I don't discount that experience or
I don't either.
just disagree with it now. Just maybe my perception of who God is and how I'm supposed to relate to God has changed since then.